Focus. Focus up. I'm talking to you, AC of AC Sports Live tonight at 9 p.m. I was almost going to not give you a shout out, AC, because I was going to bump it to Jenna, who just created that little countdown music for me. Now, I told her to do something funky and dirty, and it started off funky. I think that was a bass, but it sounded like kind of a stand-up bass, but then it got to not dirty. And Jenna, that was a good try, but I'm thinking next week we get something funkier and dirtier. And maybe we talk to Guy, because he's got that little music guy that he's always hanging out with in Canada, and he can create something, but I like that first try. Well done. Welcome. My name is Chris Rubio of the Rubio Method. We're at episode 53. This episode is called Where Did Common Sense Go? And we've got a great one. Thanks for joining me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Make sure you spread the word. Remember, this is a show where you can come on live with me. You can comment throughout the entire show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. That's fine. Do as many comments as you want. And also Twitter, or X, excuse me. Very progressive now. And don't forget, you can download the NGBN app on Roku, Spotify, Amazon Fire, Google Play, all those good things. Apple's coming soon. That's the big one I'm waiting for. We're getting some great downloads. What do we got in store today? 5 exercises for men's mental health. That's from Monahan. It's a great one. Live music on the brain as opposed to recorded music. That's from the doc. Very, very interesting one. The rundown with Rubio on steroids. As you know, I have a daily show where I give the rundown of Rubio, just talk about 5 different topics, and it's about 3 minutes to 3.5 minutes. And today we're just going to extend that a little bit, get you guys a little bit fired up. The worst 2 presidential candidates in the history of America. All the little bonuses from election time. I'll explain that one. You'll like it. A hip hop task force. I legit laughed out loud when I read this. I thought it was a joke. No concept of how money works. Yeah, that's government as well. Is college worth it? Ooh, I think Jenna brought that one up, or maybe no. Is homework stupid? Jenna brought that one up. And the last but not definitely, well, this is the least, is farting during a dart competition. Yep, you heard that right. Farting during a dart competition. All of that and much, much more on today's episode of the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out. Focus up. I'm talking to you, Chevy and Nasty, but more Nasty because he's got better movie talent. Jodis just Showtime. What's up, Jodis? Out in Raleigh, North Carolina. How's the humidity? Nana Mona, LMAO. Hi, Rubio. Hello, Nana Mona. Oh, we're doing dancing. She's got Saturday Night Fever and like a Calypso senior reader or something right there. Nasty, you know what you're talking about in movies. Chevy, you have no idea what you're talking about. He said, my beloved Wolf of Wall Street over here was not a top 5 movie. What the hell are you thinking? Okay, already you have issues because of your bad food tastes. And now you don't like Wolf of Wall Street? There you go, Nasty. He gets it. I don't know what's the matter with you. Anyway, I'm sure they're going to talk about this. They better. Tonight, the ride with Chevy and Nasty at 10 p.m. Pacific time on the NGBN network. Make sure you watch it. It is hilarious. We'll have to see if they go overtime, AC style. All right, Jenna, give me a little Monahan right now, would you please?
Hey, how's it going? We've got another awesome Minute with Monahan with you today, and we've got 5 quick exercises that help improve men's mental health. I'm going to buzz right through them. Number 1 is aerobic. Think of it like, walking, jogging, cycling, swimming, something that you do for a long period of time. Then you got strength training. That one, I think we all kind of know. Get in the gym, throw some weight around. The big thing is with grown-up men is not like college where we just need to throw the heaviest weight around. Because that's how we get hurt and then we don't come back to the gym. Stick with the weight that you can do, that you feel comfortable with. We don't need to be setting records, but we do want to get in the gym, get those endorphins going by lifting, strength training. Number 3, I know it sounds silly, but yoga. Yoga is an awesome one. I've done it a few times, but it really is good to limber up, and especially if you do hot yoga. Rubio, I know you'll love that, but it gets really hot and it's a good workout. It's good for your heart. Number 4 is outdoor activities. man, this is, could going on a hike. Honestly, gardening too is one that we don't often think about. Anything that gets you moving. The big thing, the idea here is that we just need to get moving, get endorphins going, and feel good about ourselves and feel good about something that we're doing in our life that's really pushing us and moving us forward. And last but not least, I don't love this one, but high intensity interval training. That's like your HIIT class is what it's called. They're super intense. If you're in really good shape, I would suggest it. But if you're like me, I'm not in really good shape. I just like to throw heavy weight around. That's not for me, but some people it may be. So there you go. There's five workout ideas that you can have to help improve your mental health.
Another great minute with Monahan, even though he's running a little long, but they're fantastic. So let's recoup or recap. Recap's the word I'm looking for. 5 quick exercises to improve mental health. Number 1, aerobic. That's easy, walking. What I try to do every day, Billy Jeffries, I interviewed him from GNC, and he's from the Lewiston area. He was telling me just try like 30 or 45 minutes on a treadmill at level 3, but go level 12 incline. And you'd be shocked. It's not hard. But good God, do you start sweating? Probably around a minute 12. If you're less than 240 pounds, you probably sweat a little bit after that. But for me, it was right around minute 12, 13. Whew, you start going. Number 2, strength training. As Monahan says, he likes to move weight around. Good for you, Monahan. Number 3, yoga. And he said hot yoga. I'm not a big fan of sweating. That's why I don't like Alabama, where her name is Chastity lives, because the humidity is so high. So the hot yoga, I'm not sure if I'm in with that or not. I would try it, but I'm very unflexible, and I'm not sure I could even do one pose. I tried it one time, and they tell you what to do exactly the entire time, and you have to put your left elbow over here on your right earlobe, blah blah blah, with the back of your knee pit. Do this, and I remember I was focused so much on it that I forgot to breathe, and I almost passed out. And then the lady, because it was on an app, she goes, "And don't forget to breathe." I was like, "Hey, honey, you could have told me that earlier." For outdoor activities, that's a good one. Gardening, though, every time I've seen someone gardening, they're just kind of sitting on one of those little tiny mini benches. But how is that exercise? I don't know that one. Monahan, we might have to type. And high intensity interval training, yeah, those are rough. Somehow I see Jenna doing all that stuff when she's not killing bats or yelling at people for VLT. That was a good one, Monahan. I like that one a lot. If you have any questions, you can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com. Remember, you can come on live with this show. Just go to NGBN TV, click on the Rubio Method. You'll see a yellow sweatshirt. This looks just like this. Click on that. They'll come back in the back. You'll talk to, I think her name is Chastity, and they'll say, who are you? Where are you from? What do you want to talk about? We can talk about anything you want or the topics that I'm going to bring up. So that's the first topic I brought up, or Monahan did. Now let's see what my favorite doc from Ireland has to say.
Rubio, you are an emotional guy. Yes, you are. You're a sports expert. You're a presentation expert, but you're also an emotional guy. So am I. We are all emotional. Why? Because if we listen to music, there's one tune, there's one lyric somewhere that evokes something in us. Now, we do know from the research already that the likes of Alzheimer's and especially dementia, patients that are stuck can go back into the moment and be present with regard to listening to music. But what the University of Zurich has found out now is that music, and the specific type of music that can make us most emotional, is live music. They have tested recorded music versus live music whilst patients and people lie in an MRI, and they've discovered that live music is most effective to light up the left amygdala, the ancient part of the brain, which evokes emotions. So, with this technologically driven world, we are still emotional social creatures. Believe it or not.
I 1,000% believe that. Number 1, I think that was phenomenal. Everyone remembers their first concert. If you've never been to a concert, you've got some problems. You need to make sure you get to one. Number 2, I don't know if you guys picked up on that. I love the way the doc threw in the word whilst. WHILST. Who the hell uses that word? Well done, Doc. Proving how smart you are. Good God. I'm going to have to use that one more time throughout the episode. Jenna, keep track if I can do that. I don't think I can, because I'm not really sure I know what it means. I think it means like while you sit or while you stand. Why would you throw the ST in there? Someone watching cue me in, because I have no idea. But I like that he threw that in. And live music versus recorded, 1,000,000,000%. I love going to concerts. It's my wife's big thing. The problem that I have is wanting to see Michael Bublé, another Canadian Jenna, absolutely phenomenal. I've seen him like 5 times, but the first time I saw him, we were probably about 45 yards away. And I looked at my wife and I said, this is not good. And she said, why? And I said, now that I've been to a concert this close, there's no way I can see another concert from farther away. And anytime we've got, super, super good concert tickets and they were farther away and you end up just watching the screen, I'm out. What's the point? I don't want to, I'll just do that at home or I'll watch it on YouTube. My rule is now I need to stay within football throwing distance, so about 40 to 50 yards. Sheila Willis, good morning. I can't stay long, but I'll catch what I can. Sheila doing the good work out there in Canada. Yeah, it's a word, Rubio. Well, thanks, Donna Mona, but you didn't tell me what the word is. So now I'm still lost. So whilst I sit here, does that work? You're going to use whilst while you do the, I just did. No, it's another time. Sheila Willis just lobbed it up for me. All right, what's next? The rundown with Rubio on steroids. Everything happens for a reason. So here's what happens with the rundown with Rubio. Every day I do these. I cover 5 different news stories. I'm going to talk about this, and then we're going to go to commercial, okay? So here, I'm going to just give you the preview. Everything happens for a reason. That's 1. Number 2, there are winners and losers of life. These are the pillars of the Rubio method. Accept and embrace. You'll hear me say it all the time. Working hard is not enough, and confidence is the key. Everything happens for a reason. There are winners and losers in life. Accept and embrace. Working hard is not enough, and confidence is the key. These are my morals of life, and these are also the pillars of the Rubio method. We're going to talk about each one. We're going to break down them and some news stories along with them right after this.
You have been watching The Rubio Method, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
1 week after launching our exclusive sneak peek, NGBN TV was live for 3 days of continuous coverage from Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
NGBN TV is live from Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58.
The one-of-a-kind streaming TV network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s was the conversation for the big game about men's mental health. And the world of athletes, celebrities, and influencers were on notice. But we're just getting started with new partnerships announced like the Team Nike 3-on-3 Championship and new platforms available to download the NGBN TV app. So, what are you waiting for? Download the app today from your favorite streaming device or check us out at ngbn.tv. This is NGBN TV.
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. Artbeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Doc and Chef, who are already at Wednesday out in New Zealand. They have another great show on NGBN.TV. It's, I think, Wednesday afternoon, 6 p.m. my time. So I don't know what day or time that is, but you guys got to watch it. I guarantee you will watch it and smile. If you can watch it and not smile, you have some major, major problems. I'm just telling you right now, it's very, very funny and it's very, very smart. You will learn a whole bunch. Just like my bottom line, their bottom line is trickled throughout the whole damn thing whilst you watch the show. That's 3 times, baby. I'm on fire, Jenna. All right. Everything happens for a reason. Do we have someone in the back? Did I see Ben was back there? If Ben's back there, you can bring him on right now. If not, I'll just keep talking. Let's bring him on. Ben, what's up, dude? Buzzard, can you hear me? Volume, Buzzard, volume. I can't hear you. Press the mic, press mute. It's probably not a good sign that Buzzard was one of my tutors at UCLA. Buzzard can't hear me. Well, Jenna, why don't you just take him off until we get that figured out in the back? Here's my first question for Everything Happens for a Reason. Do we have the two worst candidates ever for the president of the United States right now? You can call in, chime in, text right now. Do we have the two worst? All right. I think you can, if you follow me at all on anything, especially with the rundown of Rubio, you can see which way I lean on this. I mean, you have two, let's just go with white dudes, because that's what everyone wants to talk about, that are both either close to 80 or over 80. And that's old. Like, you can't even drive a bus for a school once you're past like 65 or 70. And I was just talking to my neighbor, the judge, about it, how he's not allowed to do certain things, like as a pilot as well. You're not allowed to be a pilot over X age. So why can't you run the country over X age? That just seems asinine to me, like absolutely crazy that someone could be, quote unquote, the leader of the free world, the most powerful man on the planet or woman on the planet, I don't care, and just get the job done. At 75, 80, retire, go to Key West, enjoy life, travel to Rome, do what you got to do. But running the country, that should not be something that we should have 75 and up people doing. I don't care how cognitively you're phenomenal, let's just say. That wasn't a great word right there, or cognitively. But this has got to be something you look at, because if you look at both, El Trumpo might be the most hated candidate ever. Okay, you could just see that people either like him or love him, or they absolutely loathe him. Okay, they absolutely hate him. And many of the times, if you ask people, okay, why do you hate El Trumpo? And they will just say, because of this. And 9 times out of 10, it's not a real thing. Like the Charlottesville hoax, where he said there's many fine people on both sides, where they literally just cut the video where he says, but I'm not talking about blank and blank. You could say, like, I hate people that kill puppies or something like that, you know, but it's completely off balance. Like, it's not what it said, you know, it's not what they're saying. Like, I hate people that wear yellow sweatshirts that kill puppies. What? Who even says that? But it turns out he was saying for a bad, you know, things like that, going on and on. So El Trumpo might be the most hated candidate ever, but many don't know why. If you actually talk to some people that do hate him, they just come up with excuses. Okay. Oh, he did this, he did that, he did this. Okay, where do you have proof of that? Well, yes, I do, but no, I don't. Okay, but how come no one hated him before he ran for president? That's always my answer on that. Like, he was a celebrity. Everyone went and loved him. He was on all the talk shows. He had his own little apprentice show. He was in every rap video. And then all of a sudden he becomes a presidential candidate and everyone hates him. And why? I just don't get it. I'm a little confused. If you can explain it to me, that's fine. I would love to talk to you about it. And then you got Joey B. Joey B is pretty much a train wreck that is just way too old and obviously overflowing with dementia. Okay. And he's the first president to not take a cognitive test. Not taking a cognitive test tells me that you're worried that you're not going to pass the test. Like right now, I'm not going to take an algebra test. You know why? Because I'm terrible at math. And I'm not going to pass that test because I know I'm going to fail because I'm terrible at math. So what is happening here? And now, and I've been saying on the rundown with Rubio, you're starting to see the media kind of cover it a little bit more and more and more and more, because I think they're trying to set him up to get out. They're going to try to set him up to get out because they realized, okay, this is kind of a liability. You even have Italian networks making fun of him, just where he's wandering around the stage, can't find the mic. And don't get me wrong, I knew they did this with El Trumpo as well, where they just showed him talking to himself or doing things where he just makes up and exaggerates stories. But it almost was a little bit better. I don't want to say almost, it was, because all the other countries were just fearful of him because he's kind of a whack job. We're talking about El Trumpo. You don't know what he's going to do. And he wasn't a career politician. So when he came in, he kind of tried to clean up everything. And you have these people that like to be career politicians and just kind of suckle off the teat of the government forever and ever and ever. And El Trumpo comes in and says, yeah, we're not doing that. Even with him, I think they had to buy a new Air Force One. And they said, okay, it's going to be this price. And he says, that's not the way it works. Let's go this price. And they met in the middle. Okay. Where before, they just would have spend and spend and spend. Jenna, do we have Ben in the back again? I think we do. Yes, we do. Bowser,
can you hear me, Rubio?
I can hear you. Ben, did you want to talk about this topic or did you want to talk about something else?
I want to talk about the $50 minimum wage.
Okay, so Ben's talking about California Senate candidate Barbara Lee thinks that she can solve inflation by raising the minimum wage to $50 an hour. I was actually going to talk about this in my winners and losers. What are your thoughts on this, Ben? Because you've got a college degree. You're not a moron.
What do you think a quarter pounder is going to cost if we got to pay people $50 an hour to flip the burger?
It's going to cost $50 an hour, if not, maybe a little bit less. I mean, I was just looking at In-N-Out. I think their double combo styles up to $12 or $13 now.
I was in Subway yesterday. A 6-inch sandwich was $10.
But Ben lives in Seattle. He's about 5 hours west of me. So you obviously got more population. Everything's going to be more pricey, but $10 for a 6-inch sub. Ben, I want you to try to explain the $50 minimum wage to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Can you make it make sense?
No. No. It's simple economics. If you raise the minimum wage, whatever the cost to the business is, they're going to pass it on to us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very, very obvious. And this is going to go along the line of election time. So all the little bonuses are coming. So for all these people that are trying to be elected, they throw out to all the, you need a livable wage. You need a livable wage. You need a livable wage when you're out living on your own. But if you don't have the skill set, okay, to earn a livable wage, then that's on you. Flipping burgers is not essentially a skill set. It's good for everyone. I'm telling you, everyone should have done it at some point, but you should not make a living wage flipping burgers unless you're at a fine restaurant or something like that. That's just my opinion. Buzzard?
I agree with you. There's, like you say, there are winners and losers in life.
There are winners and losers in life, 100%. And the people that are going to lose are the people that are running on minimum wage, because if you have 5 or 6 people, yeah, Sheldon says, why not just print more money? Everyone will have more, right? Exactly. I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Like literally not at all. So if my business makes $100 a day, okay, and I've got 2 employees that I pay $8 an hour, okay, and so I'm going to, after all my expenses, I'm going to make $50 a day, just after all that. But now the government tells me I have to pay them $50 per hour, and I still only make $100 an hour, a day. Well, I can't do it. I have to fire them both.
You either go out of business or you raise your prices.
Exactly.
And
this is just,
it's that equilibrium of where you can make money at what price, and which I don't know how. It's Barbara Lee, correct, in California that did this?
Yeah, Barbara Lee.
Barbara Lee. I guarantee she doesn't have an economics degree.
I would guarantee she doesn't have a high school degree.
But costs can't exceed revenues.
Yeah.
Or you go out of business. And that's it's a concept that people don't understand. It's
the concept of what you spend can't be more than what you bring in. I'm breaking it down for anyone that's watching that is having a little confusion on this, which I don't know how you could.
I don't know either, Rubio. Sometimes I think we live in a cartoon.
100%. One more question before I let you go. Do we have the 2 worst candidates ever for the president of the United States? And let me explain, because you have El Trumpo, where half the country, or I don't even know if it's half at this point, they absolutely hate this guy. They loathe him. They would rather vote for the devil than him. And I've had people tell me that. Okay. And then you have Joey B, who's obviously a train wreck. He's too old. He's overflowing with dementia. He says he's not doing a cognitive test. I mean, is this just the battle of who's worse?
Man, I can't wait to see those debates.
Oh, you think they're going to let him debate?
I think they have to. I don't think there's if he makes it out of the convention, though, that's going to be must-watched TV, because nobody's gotten access to him for an hour and a half, where he doesn't have his note cards ready with what the questions are, and then Trump just goes off. Like you've got polar opposite personalities in terms of, President Biden's very quiet because he doesn't know what he's saying, and Trump just talks. He doesn't know what he's saying either half the time, but he just talks and talks and talks. So
yeah, and Sheldon just said there's no way there will be a debate. I agree 1,000%. There's no way they can't allow him to go out there, because he's going to have one of those spells where he gets lost or he glitches like McConnell, where he just freezes, and they're not going to allow it, because El Trumpo is going to go right at him and just going to go deep. I mean, what's he going to run on? Like I don't understand. It's just
Rubio. If he makes it out of the convention and he doesn't do a debate, he's going to feed into the narrative that he doesn't know what's going on. They have to get him out there at least for one. I don't think there'll be 3.
He hasn't campaigned once.
They have to.
I would love to see it. I think it'll be must-see TV buzzer. Thanks for coming on all the way from Seattle, Washington. I appreciate it. Ed, they will both debate. Sub 60 Ed. Is it Sub 60 Ed on? Whilst I do the show? Sub 60 Ed, nice sweatshirt. Is that a Rubio sweatshirt?
No, it's the
damn
national.
it.
It's national. It's baseball season.
Did you shaved your head tonight for decades? Tonight at 6:30 p.m. No plug needed.
Yeah, decades. Everybody's going to tune in. Who's watching? Right, all 4 people.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
no. Here's I think it's here's my thing. They're both train wrecks in their own ways, as you were saying. They're both. Train
I agree.
Wrecks. It's kind of like seeing who's going to be the third party candidate and maybe toss it there just for the shits and giggles. Anywho, I just think we're in a real tough situation here in the good old US of A.
I agree. Do you think that the Democrats are stuck in a hard spot right now because they want diversity? They're all about diversity, but they're running, and I'm glad you called in because I could use you, running Joey B.
Oh, that's
again.
good. You always do.
I always do.
Anyway.
And he's an old white guy, and they tried to do the diversity with everything with the press secretary, Jean-Pierre or whatever, and she's terrible. Her and Kamala have just invented the word salad where they just word around like this, and nothing ever gets solved. And the whole diversity thing, you and I have talked about this before. If you're going to do the diversity hires, where does it stop? Because I don't see a lot of sub 60s on the White House staff.
No. Do you see a lot of sub 60s anywhere?
I talk to you every day.
Yep. Okay, that you being in general.
Oh,
and besides, and if you're not watching the Discovery Channel with all the sub 60s, there's like all the sub 60 reality shows, but that's a whole nother piece. No, I agree. I don't know. I saw an interesting piece where it's Kamala Harris is gonna actually get the bid when it comes out through the convention, and they're gonna put her up against El Trumpo, as you like to call him.
Oh, he would destroy her.
That? Well, maybe. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Do you think
Jenna says that I should run the country?
No, God help us, no. God help us. No.
Sub 60. The HR department does the government have HR departments?
Yes, they have the HR department.
Do they?
You can't just say that. Yeah, you just can't say stuff. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It would be I would be running it.
Well, you can't say. See, here's the funny thing about it. Yes, they have an HR department. However, you can go out and publicly and say crazy stuff or fall in or mumble or forget what you're talking about, but you can't say it directly to employees. Like you can say, like,
shout it at the wind.
Yeah, you can shout it like when you're doing a presser or something like that, or doing a campaign event. You could like shout out you're crazy, which would be good for you because you shout out a lot of crazy sometimes. Yeah,
Ben says there's no way Kamala is the presidential nominee. No, she's just not, and not to be mean, she's just not an intelligent human being in my book.
I'm not saying No,
I think the best candidate would have been Ron DeSantis. I think he would have been great.
I think the best candidate's right here. This team right here, you and me.
Oh, I'm in.
You and me.
We'll call it the twins. We'll do twins.
Yeah, twins. We run on our own ticket.
Yeah.
It's sub 60.
I think Ron DeSantis would have been great. I think his candidacy was absolutely terrible. Whoever was running his campaign was terrible because obviously he did great things in Florida. And he should have just came out and said, hey, I'm a super nerd. I went to Yale, played baseball. I'm a dork, but I get stuff done. I'm not going to be the loud, boisterous one. You can't go against El Trumpo. You can't talk to Joey B because God knows what he's saying. And he just should have came out and said, I'm a nerd, but I'm a nerd that gets things done.
That's true. He is a nerd that gets things done.
And, Fuzzy Bones or says Kamala ran 4 years ago. I didn't, but I got just as many delegates as she did. That's a good one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'd have better luck tossing a coin. Between all that.
I would lean you'd have better after the last 3.5 years. You'd have to go, even as much as you hate El Trumpo, you'd have to lean that way a little bit just for so much going around.
I don't know. I can't lean. I don't know. I throw up. It's almost like talking to you on a constant basis. It's just, it's kind of like,
you lucky bastard.
I know. Actually,
on that note, we're going to go to commercial, but don't forget tonight, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, Decades, 6:30 p.m. tonight, Pacific, Decades, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Obviously, download the Roku app. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
Hello, we are the MD and Chef team. I'm nutritional chef Michael, joined by my beautiful wife, Dr. Isabel, medical doctor and suicide survivor.
Yes, I was dropped into the world of mental illness back in 2013, and by the grace of God, I survived suicide. But here's what I learned. We don't have a mental illness issue. That's the downstream event. We're focusing downstream. We should be focusing upstream on our brain health and all the things that we can be doing to support our brain health. Because you see, it's like mopping up the floor when the sink is overflowing instead of turning off the faucet. So come and join us on the MD and Chef Team show.
Come join us.
1 week after launching our exclusive sneak peek, NGBN TV was live for 3 days of continuous coverage from Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
NGBN TV is live from Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58.
The one-of-a-kind streaming TV network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s was the conversation for the big game about men's mental health in the world of athletes, celebrities, and influencers were on notice. But we're just getting started with new partnerships announced like the Team Nike 3-on-3 Championship and new platforms available to download the NGBN TV app. So, what are you waiting for? Download the app today from your favorite streaming device or check us out at ngbn.tv. This is NGBN TV.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus. Focus up. I'm talking to you, Charles Wallace Sr. Big hugs from Idaho, thinking about you and your family right now. I know you're having some troubles out there with your dad, but everyone's pulling. Everyone's got big hugs coming from whatever state they are. Welcome back. This is episode 53. My name is Chris Rubio of the Rubio Method. We are going to have a great rest of the show. Now we're up to there are winners and losers in life. Buzzard came in and already took one of these categories. California Senator candidate Barbara Lee thinks she can solve inflation by raising the minimum wage to $50 per hour. Please, if you're watching and you can explain that to me, I would love to hear from you. You can come on live with me, or you can just type in a little on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I want to seriously know. Treat me like a fourth grader, how it works. Or you can come on live, you go to NGBN TV, choose the Rubio Method. There'll be a yellow sweatshirt there. You click on it, boom, you'll be in the back stage or back area. And we'll say, hey, who are you? Where are you from? You want to talk about anything specific, or you just want you and Rubio to rant about something? Okay. Another one about there are winners and losers in life. Joey B is cutting $1.2 billion of federal student loans and says, quote, it will help those that don't go to college. What? How? If I don't go to college, how is that helping me? I don't have a student loan, so therefore I'm not paying it back. Okay. And if I'm say like I have a good friend whose son is an electrician. Okay. He didn't go to college for a 4-year degree. Okay. He's going to class to become an electrician. He's got to buy all these tools. Say he wants to buy a van. Would Joey B write off that loan? Or is it just for people that go to 4-year universities? It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand there's white collar and there's blue collar, but why should the white collar have more rights than the blue collar? Just because you go to a 4-year degree school does not mean that you're going to be super, super intelligent people. I was a teacher. Trust me. I know. I taught 6th grade for 8 years, and you would see a lot of teachers that the more degrees they had, the dumber they were. Just sorry. That's what I learned, man. I'm telling you right now. And then he also sent an email to 135,000 of these loan people, borrowers, and tells them, hey, by the way, I just cut your loans. Wouldn't that be like voter tampering? Dave Bradley says, those who want to increase the minimum wage don't vote for Trump. Those who would rather vote for the devil want to increase the minimum wage. That's a lot of words. Okay. I don't want anyone. I just need someone to explain to me. If the wisdom rabbit can't explain it to me, that's Dave Bradley. I don't think anyone can. Okay. And so I still want to know how cutting student loans will help people that don't have student loans. Okay. That's number one. And do you understand, for those that have some sort of issue with money, they're not just taking those loans and vanishing them. Someone will be paying them. Okay. And the people that are going to be paying them are everyone, because their taxes are going to raise. The top dog is just not going to lose that much money. Okay. If you have 135 or $1.2 billion loans, someone is going to have to pay that money back. Nothing in life is for free. If you can explain that to me, feel free to jump on. It's just appealing to their voting base. We see the same thing in Canada. Policy doesn't matter, votes do. Okay, Sheldon, I understand that, but what I don't understand nasty is how can someone not see that? How can they not see, oh, I'm getting this for free. No one will ever pay for it. That's a third grade mentality. Okay, I want. The math isn't mathing for me. Yes, the Edge of Greatness Project from Wooster, Ohio. Did I get it right? I'm trying. I'll have it ready for it tonight. I'm going to watch that video that you made fun of me on, and I'll make sure I get it down. Another winners and losers life. El Trumpo just beat out Nikki Haley in her home state of South Carolina, but she won't give up. She's still in the race. She hasn't won one. She hasn't even come close. In South Carolina, her home state, he beat her 65-34. That's a wipeout. So my question is, who's pushing for her, and why is she still getting pumped up as, oh my gosh, she's totally taken out Joey B. She's totally taken out Trumpo. What are you talking about? It's not even close. If she can't even beat El Trumpo in her home state, what's happening here? The next one I want to talk about, Representative Jamal Bowman. Okay, for those who don't remember Jamal Bowman, they had a very, very big vote a couple weeks back on the Senate, and it was getting really close. It's probably about paying Ukraine again some more money, because you got to keep doing that, of course. And all of a sudden, he had trouble getting out of a door to go vote. So he decided to pull this big red thing on the wall that said, fire alarm, do not pull, or alarm will sound. He thought that was the exit, because it's very, very tricky, especially if you can't read and you don't know colors and you've never been into a building in your life, which I would assume all three for him. He decided to pull it. It alarmed. Everything got locked down. The vote had to be paused. This is that same guy who said, oh, it was a complete accident, when there's literally video of him watching from like 9 different angles of him looking, going, okay, pull. And oh, wow, what confusion. I would have never have known. So this guy unveiled the Congressional Hip Hop Power and Justice Task Force. I saw this. Jenna, do you have a picture of this? I literally thought this was a joke when I read this, and I had to double check like 4 or 5 different sources, because I try to get as much news in as possible, and then I'll go on to X and follow people that are on both sides to see, okay, are they both talking about this? Because there's no way this is true. Jenna, do you have the picture? No. It's a green one in the front. It says Hip Hop Task Force. It's picture 1, I think it is. Yeah, introducing the Hip Hop Task Force. He talks about it, and he says hip hop, quote, has always been about ending poverty in America and fully funding our public schools. What the hell hip hop are you listening to, man? I've listened to a lot of hip hop in my day. All right, a lot. And I'm telling you right now, I don't think I've heard one hip hop or rap song that was talking about ending poverty in America and or fully funding our public schools. Not one. If anyone could find one for me and send me one, I'd like to hear it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've just been listening to the wrong type. And I mean, I saw Straight Outta Compton, and I don't remember any of those songs talking about that as well. But these are all the little bonuses that are coming. All the little bonuses are coming. And this last one we're talking about, winners and losers live. Joey B's visiting the border on Thursday. Him and El Trumpo, they're both going. Joey B in 4 years has visited one time. I think it was January 2023 last time, and he went to one place where they cleaned it all up, and they were showing the wall. So now that it's election time, he's got to act like he's cares about the border. And El Trumpo's doing the same thing where he's going. Okay, he's not like he's been at the border the entire time. Of course, how can he when he's in court cases all the time? But he's visiting the border on Thursday as well. And the the Border Patrol Union is going off on Joey B. They are saying, hey, man, nice try. We've had for 3.5 years, we've been complaining to you. We've been trying to stop everyone from putting razor wire up. And those that have opposed to the razor wire closing your doors, let me just ask you, do you lock your door at night? Okay, you do? Okay. Discussion ended. And if you're like, well, they're getting hurt in the razor wire. You know how I don't get hurt in razor wire? I don't go to where razor wire is. I don't care. It's a very, very simple concept. All right, let's move on. Accept and embrace. Are upscale colleges worth it anymore? Is it worth going if you simply can't be yourself anymore? Now you're probably thinking, Rubio, what the hell are you talking about? I work with a lot of college athletes, and the stories that I get from them are absolutely insane, especially during the Rona where they had lockdown Zoom classes. I had one of my students tell me that they were in a Zoom class, and behind him in the background, he had an American flag. It's just pinned up on his wall. There it is, blah, 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 just like that, okay? And the professor told him, you have to take it down. Someone finds that offensive. Now, he's not taking classes out of America. He's taking them in California. Okay, well, some could argue. He said, if you don't take it down, you have to drop the class. He said, okay, I'll drop the class then. Good for him for standing up for himself, but what the hell? He was not allowed to keep an American flag up as his background in America? So you can't be yourself? Okay, and I've heard of other lots of athletes where they're not allowed to take classes anymore. They're allowed to take online classes, but not classes in person. Because if you're not in person at the class, that frees you up for more time for football meetings, all that stuff. So I'm all for not going to class. Don't get me wrong. I want you to get your studies. But there's something along, you've got to get to class. Online classes, some people just can't learn that way. You can't learn that way at all. And if you're looking at a screen for 14 hours a day, that's not good. Okay. And then I've had other students tell me they did the first semester and they answered every question on their papers, their books, their midterms, their finals, exactly the way they thought politically and socially. And they got C's and D's, exactly what they thought. And they were correct answers. And they said, okay, let me figure out what's going on here. So what they would do is they'd say, if it's black, I'm going to write white. If it's up, I'm going to write down. If it's negative, I'm going to write positive. And they got straight A's. So he said, whatever I do, and I've had several of my students tell me this, whatever they thought was the correct answer and what they believed in, they would just write the complete opposite of what they did not believe in, and then they would get an A. So is that make college worth it? Remember, you can get on right now on NGBN TV, just go to the Rubio method, click on the yellow switcher, boom, you'll pop up and you can talk with me. Or you can on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and we can do it as well. Because I'd love to hear your opinion, because I make these same opinions on my daily rundowns with Rubios, and I put them on YouTube Shorts and TikTok and all that good stuff. And you should see the comments that I get. They are very great. They're entertaining, let's just say that. So I don't understand at this point, is college worth it unless you have a exact major you're going for? Thank you, Janice. Great content. I appreciate it, bud. Here's another one. Former Dean Claudine Gray, speaking about higher education, former Dean of Harvard, Claudine Gray, was put to a new position after she couldn't answer about racism towards Jews. Someone said, hey, is it racist to hate or killings of Jews? She couldn't answer. Like, what are you talking about? How do you not answer that? Then she found out she plagiarized over 30 papers to get the job. Now, she didn't get fired. She just got replaced and pushed over to a different spot. And this is head of Harvard, where Harvard is, an Ivy League school, blah, blah, blah. And now she's making $900,000, even though she plagiarized 30 papers. Okay. And she couldn't answer if hating Jews is racist or killing Jews is racist. The genocide against Jews is racist. How can you not answer that? That's like a billionth of a second answer. I don't understand. And on that same line, now, Jenny, you can bring that other picture. Harvard professor Roland Fryer. This is this guy right here. Okay. For those that are listening on Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. He's a black dude. He's a professor at Harvard. Roland Fryer says all hell broke loose and he needed constant police protection after he released a study showing there's no racial bias in police shootings. So Harvard has to do this big old paper, this study on racial bias of police, cops killing black kids, cops killing brown kids, white kids not getting shot at all, blah, blah, blah. So he does this monster paper, puts out this study, and they lose their mind on it. They absolutely flip the lid and say, whoa, we can't publish that. You'll get death threats. He goes, I'm publishing it. You told me to publish it. I'm publishing it. And from that point on, he needed police protection and all hell broke loose. What what's the deal? I want to know, are the main places even going? What's happening to the higher education? Is homework even necessary? This is what Jenna brought up. And what about homeschooling kids? Is homework even necessary? No. Okay, I was a teacher. My thing with homework was I gave the bare minimum, and whatever I did, I gave them 2 days to do it. So if I signed it on Monday, it was due on Wednesday. If I signed it on Tuesday, it wasn't due till Thursday. Go home. You're not at home. You're not at school. Play, have fun, go outside, play wiffle ball, do what you got to do. Should homework be mandatory? I would say no more than a half hour. No more than a half hour. And that's coming from a teacher. I would say anything more than that, it's overkill. Unless you're a super nerd IB student, which the world needs those as well. And you have to do more because you have to get more content into your head. I get it. But now with all the way the schools have gone, and what about homeschooling kids? Homeschooling kids back in the day, we're just talking about, say, your quote unquote normal kid that was being homeschooled. Back in the day, I remember it was more of an issue where they were basically off the plantation and they were kind of, the quote unquote weirder kids. And now you're seeing more and more kids doing it simply because they don't want to have to put up with the PC stuff that's in a normal quote unquote public school. Jenna says, I know so many friends who have homeschooled their kids now. Yeah. I remember when the Rona started in Idaho, where I live, the Rona wasn't really a thing because it's like the wild, wild west here. There's 1800s. There's no rules. You do whatever you want. But just the state over Washington, it's only like 2 miles from me. They have strict rules. And I remember telling my wife, if this trickles over to here, my youngest, Damon Dale, he was about 10 at the time. I said, I'll homeschool him. I'm not making him wear a mask to school every single day. I'm not making him get 17 shots. I'm not having him do Zoom classes for 4 months in a row, things like that. You're not going to get an education. I said, he'll come with me. And then one day we'll go and we'll learn about Clearwater paper with Levi and Brandon. Then one day we'll go learn about electricians with Squarehead and Dennis. Okay. And then one day we'll learn about football training and you'll come with me. And that way you'll get a true, real education where you can kind of see things and move around the country. But that's, so is homeschool as bad as it was, or quote unquote? I don't think so as much. We're going to come back and talking about working hard is not enough. But first, this great commercial from Jenna.
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. ArtBeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Welcome everyone out there to See I Am Me. I am your host, Rashawn Warren. Welcome to our community where you can embrace your authenticity, set ambitious goals, and achieve success. Together, let's empower and continuously improve our standing in the world. This show is for you. This show is geared to give you some perspective from other people who are just living their lives and experiencing things on a daily basis. You will hear for some people who have made it really, really far in their career, and they'll give you some ideas of how to continue to push forward. You'll hear from some individuals who have transitioned into other jobs after their primary career has ended. It's all about you to give you the ideal of what you can be in order to become your greater self. Welcome to See I Am Me. I look forward to seeing you. Out.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Todd, over at ArtBeat Inc. You guys do a phenomenal job. They print on everything: pens, cups, hats, shirts, sweatshirts, towels. They're based in Lewiston, but they ship worldwide. They do a phenomenal job. ArtBeat Inc. You can find them on Facebook, websites, all that good stuff. Welcome back to episode 53 of the Rubio Method. Edge of Greatness Project says, no homework. You learn so much more exploring things you were interested in over some mandatory busy work assignment. Hell yes, Charles. There is no doubt about that. And that's why you get so many kids not interested in school early, because you make them sit down in this little chair for 8 hours at a time. Obviously, you have little breaks and recess and all that stuff, but you're just pounding stuff into their heads that they don't care about. Number one, they don't want to learn about. And it's not, a lot of times, let's be honest, you have a lot of teachers that are just not good. Okay. They're not good. If you have some great teachers, it can make a subject phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. But you have some bad teachers out there and they can just crush. I'm pissed off about it. Subjects. Shout out to Mr. Schlitt, Mr. Lopez, Mr. Stefanik. Those are a couple of my favorite teachers. They were great. They did a great job. And I think they kind of watch the show as well. Working hard is not enough. These are going to go quick. Jenna, the first picture, the one you said you don't understand what it is. A soccer player in Indonesia died on the pitch during a match when he was struck by lightning. This dude's 35. He's rolling around playing soccer. All of a sudden, game over. Would you be a little bit pissed? I'd be like, okay, number one, I'm playing soccer, so I'm running around, so I'm probably exhausted. Number two, really? A lightning bolt? I mean, Jenna, you might have to Google this for me. Do you feel that pain, or is it so fast that it's just game over? Because if it's so fast that it's game over, I'm okay with it. But if the dude is like shaking on the ground, all electrified, and then he dies, I'd be double pissed, because who wants to go out like that? That's not a good thing. Next thing, Duke basketball player Kyle Filipowski was injured after Wake Forest students rushed the court after an upset victory. Brings to the question, should this be banned, rushing the court? Or at least, good question, Jenna. It says, how would we know they are dead? That's a good point, Jenna. Maybe find a lightning bolt survivor, a lightning strike survivor, because I guarantee there was one on the Great Outdoors. The dude was struck like 9 times. He looked like a skunk. Of course, it was a movie. Should they ban rushing the court? I say yes, but I say just wait until like 3 seconds after. game's over. Security, let the opposing team take off. They don't want to be there part of the celebration anyway because they just got their butts kicked. Then they're off the court. Give them 30 seconds. Then all hell breaks loose. You got 12,000 college students rushing the court. God knows what they've been doing for 3+ hours. They're college students, for the love of God. Okay, so let your minds wander. And then you have them running around with other college students. It's just not a bad thing. Is it going to take away a little bit from it? Yeah, it's going to take away a little bit from it. But safety, someone's going to end up getting really hurt or trampled, or so there's going to be a fight that breaks out. So I'm okay with that. Pro dart player Darren Webster. Jenna, did I give you a picture for this one? Accuses opponent of pro dart player Darren Webster accuses opponent of farting during the match. So this dude is winning. I think they're doing a best of 7, and he's winning 3 matches to 0. So all of a sudden, this other guy next to him starts blowing ass, or allegedly, and he can't get focused because his eyes are watering and this dude just blowing it, literally. And so he's trying to dart. He's got eyes watered, nose is bleeding, doing whatever. And so he ends up losing 4-3. He lost the next 4 matches or games. I don't know what you call them in darts. All right. Then he won't shake the guy's hand. Yeah, why would you? The guy smells like ass the entire time. Why would you want to go shake his hand after? I'd be like, no, get out of here, man. And the last one for working hard is not enough. I've got 6 minutes. I'm good. Actress Alyssa Milano starts a GoFundMe. For those that don't know Alyssa Milano, she was a smoke show back in like the late 80s, early 90s on Who's the Boss. She was Samantha Malone. I don't know how the hell I remember that. Probably because I was infatuated with her. She was so hot. Anyway, she's worth $10 million. She puts a GoFundMe account for her son for his Little League team to go to Cooperstown, Ohio for the World Series. Honey, you're worth 10 mil. Foot the bill, at least for your own kid. And it wasn't like a GoFundMe for the team. It was a GoFundMe for her own kid. And the worst part about it is people donated. And then literally like 5 days later, she posted, or she got caught, celebrity photos, her and her kid at the Super Bowl. Now, even if she was gifted the tickets, which maybe she was, don't take them. It's just a bad look, man. It's just a really bad look knowing that you just were, quote, basically begging people for money. And now all of a sudden you want to ask people, please give me some money for my kid. I'm only worth 10 mil. Oh, and I'm going to the Super Bowl, which costs $10,000 per ticket. Really, really bad look on her part. And here we go, the final. Confidence is the key. Jenna brought this one up. 40% of Americans think marriage is obsolete. Is marriage still necessary? It's a great, great question. I am married. This is my second marriage. My first marriage, I got married too young, just didn't work out. It gave me a great gift of my first son. The big time show, Rubio. Crazy. That was my big time impression right there. So does it work? Yeah. Is it hard? Yeah. Should you wait a certain time? I think, yeah. I've always told my boys, wait till 30. Have your fun, do what you got to do. You could agree with me or disagree. I could care less. If you want to disagree or agree with me, you can write in right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, or you can come on. Just go to NGBN TV, click the Rubio method, click the yellow sweatshirt. We'll get you in. So I think it does help because my wife always tells me this when we're walking by someone. We were just on a little quick trip, and she'll see some dude who's dressed with like plaids and stripes, and his hair's all over here, and he's got like a booger over here, or just, he's got a coffee stain. And she'll say, that is someone who's not married. And I go, why? She goes, because a wife would not let him walk out of the house like that. It's a pretty damn good point. Okay, so is it needed to be grounded? Or Jenna, I think, is saying that instead of being married, just these days it's like how people change a job every 7 years. People change partners too often, too easy to leave. Yeah, I think there should be almost a punishment for divorce. And that 7-year mark, that's the 7-year itch that everyone always gets, where right at 7 years, you'll start to notice couples. I've seen a lot of young people get married at like 22, 23 because they think they have to do that right after college. And that's what I thought. I thought you went to high school, you went to college, you got a job, and you got married. Jenna, you're calling me weak? Okay, Jenna, we'll talk about this later. And I did that, but I was too young. I didn't experience life. You start to get some animosity, and you're just not people are weak. Thank you, Jenna. Okay. You're not who you are yet. You're really not who you are. From 25 to 30s when you start to kind of figure it out. Ian Hill, looking good from Jersey. Agreed. Wait a while, Janice. Yeah, you get it, man. And it's one of those things I always tell my kids, you can wait till 30 to be married. If you want to get engaged earlier, let it rain. Okay? Let it rain, but still travel. Do your things. You want to go to Thailand and have some good spicy food? Go ahead. You want to be a cruise ship director in the Bahamas? Go ahead. You want to be a fisherman in Romania? Go ahead. It takes work, compromise, and listen to each other. Her name is Chastity Says. Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it's not an easy thing. Anyone that says marriage is easy, I guarantee they're not married, or their significant other might be in a coma or something like that. Happier people are more likely to get married than unhappy people. So a decline in mental health and happiness will link to a decline in marriage. Oh, no doubt about that. Because once you get that isolation thing where you're kind of just hanging out by yourself and you don't have other people to bounce ideas off or even thoughts off, even if they hate them. Because I always play this game with my wife where I'm like, what if this? Or what if that? Would you rather do this? And she hates them, but it's good conversation. Jenna and I, who are not married, obviously, we just had a conversation with Her Name is Chastity beforehand, where I said, I think it takes a special person to know how to sneeze. Was it sneeze? Oh, no, blow your nose. Because I don't know if I know how to do it. And we kind of agreed you did, but your wife or significant other would tell you. All right. If you had a good time on this show, you can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com. I've got about 30 seconds left. Make sure you share the link on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Okay, we will be doing this again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, mark your calendar. Make sure you download the Roku app, and you can contact Rubio at therubiomethod.com for sponsorship possibilities for myself and or the network. We have almost 50 shows, from fishing to cooking to sports to gambling to Rubio just talking about whatever I was talking about. Don't forget tonight, AC Sports Live, The Ride with Chevy and Nasty. Okay. And Hawk Talk. We're going to talk about the Hawks today as well. Don't forget that one as well. I think that's at 4:30 or 5. All right. On that note, Jenna, I'm out.
Thanks for watching The Rubio Method on the NGBN.TV network. Be sure to spread the word, and don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.